Hello, everybody. We are back. The Ola and Oyin podcast is back, and we are super excited, super elated, happy to be starting this new season 2. I know we went away for a long time. It was expected. Part of it was not expected, but we are back. The good news is we are back, guys, and we can't wait to start a new season with you. By the way, Oyin is here in the studio. Oyin, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well. I'm happy to be back, doing this again after a long time. And before we proceed, I would like to tender my sincere apologies because some of the reasons why we've not been dropping content and our podcast content is because I had things to do. So guys, due to unexpected foreseen circumstances or unforeseen expected circumstances, don't worry, the gist will continue as we go on with this season of the Ola and Oyin podcast. But all we just want you to know is that we are sincerely sorry for not posting as soon as we told you guys to anticipate the second season. But now we are here, and that's all that matters, right? Welcome back. Okay, so guys, in today's episode, we are going to be transitioning you from season 1 to season 2 by giving you a quick reminder of things that we discussed in season 1, and then some juices that you'll find out as we go on, and then we're going to be telling you things you're going to anticipate for this new season of the Ola and Oyin podcast. I hope you guys are ready, because if you're not, you're darling. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
very
great
quickly.
time.
The first season was a merry. So just to remind you guys, we are going to be discussing it briefly. You still have to listen. So Ola, how was the first episode?
Yeah, in the first episode of last season, it was more like an intro episode, like the shortest episode. It was barely 5 minutes, where we talked about who is Ola, who is Oyin, get to meet us, the sports we are into, and why we decided to start this podcast in the first place. I mean, it was cool, it was good. It's good to know your host, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to know us, this is your first time of listening to us, you can please refer to the first episode and get to know a brief thing about Ola and Oyin. So we moved on to episode 2 of the podcast.
Yeah, and episode 2 is on motivation overdose. You will all agree with me that we need a little bit of motivation here and there. But what does overdose does to someone? That episode was born out of what we experienced before we started the podcast, and even other things that we had to do, personal stuff. So we shared personal experiences and all of those things in that episode. If you want to get the full gist, you know what to do. And then we talked about the next episode, which was friendship.
Yeah,
Ola,
in friendship,
give them
yeah.
the juice.
I like that episode because we talked about keeping friends, making friends, sustaining friends. If you are out of contact with a friend, how to get back, and then friendship between male and female. It was a lot of things. Then not holding grudges within you and your friends, settling conflict in friendship. It was a whole total package about friendship. I personally think it was one of the best episodes we had on season 1, and that was it. Then after that, we moved to episode 4, where we talked about trend adoption.
Yeah, darlings, trend adoption. I mean, what is life without friends anyways?
Yeah.
Everybody be saying, no one cares, friends are this, friends are that, we don't need friends, we can do it on our own. All this solitary movement that we are pushing, agendas, guys, it's all part of the adoption. We have adopted new trends of living on our own, thinking we don't need friends. Guys, we need friends. So in trend adoption, we talked about different trends that people pick up, based on environment, maybe backgrounds, maybe, which pick up different trends, and trends don't last forever. Some of these trends we tend to drop them as we go on. So this episode, why do people join trends, why do we pick them up, why do we drop them, and all of those stuffs are what we discussed in all of those stuff, by the way, not stuffs. English is hard. Are what we discussed in the trend adoption episode. Alright, so after that we had our very first health series on the Ola and Oyin podcast for season 1, where we discussed pill burden and adherence. Pharmacist Olamide.
I was going to say that
Well,
if you go back and listen to the episode 1 where we talked about ourselves, we said we were pharmacists, and yeah, we are pharmacists, both pharmacists. So it would have been a crime if we don't say something about it.
as men of honor,
you know,
we join hands.
You know. So we decided to make a 8 series in every season, and pill adherence opened the show for the 8 series. Pill burden, it's a thing, it's real. Then adherence is a big deal when it comes to medications. Then a lot of people struggle with it, and we pointed that out on the episode, and then we talked about why, and then we talked about how to cope with it. Have a good listen, guys. I'm sure you will really love it and pick 1 or 2 things for your head. Yeah. So after that, we opened another series because we are book lovers, and we decided to start a book series where we discuss books we read. So we opened with episode 6, and that was The Alchemist. So you want to tell them something about that?
Yeah, The Alchemist, one of my favorite books of all time. Not, Ola said earlier that we are book lovers. Well, I almost beg to differ, because he just initiated me into the club, and it's been fun, you know. I guess what they mean by if you want to acquire knowledge, you need to read. I get that. But I'm a late reader, so that's one of the things. But Alchemist did the trick. Like, it's a very amazing book. I learned a lot. My simple what would they call it, description, if I have to just give it like a simple summary, is what you're looking for is within. So everything that we think that we need to be, that we need to reach, we are looking for external validations, we think that it is far away. No, this book just teaches you that you just need to look within yourself, that, oh, what are the potential that I have, what I have to do, this and that. So the book is just a fantastic one. Read, take some few things, because you might not necessarily need everything, but I promise you, you're going to love it. The twist, the fun, the comedy, if there is. For me, some things were funny. It might not be funny to you, but just enjoy the book, really. Just relax. Don't be in a hurry when you're reading that book. Amazing one. And then, that was episode 6, by the way. We moved on to episode 7, which was supposed to be another series, but as it turns out, guys, series cannot be formed.
Said done. So, like you said, it was supposed to be a series, but we realized that series we are even leaving the series, you know, and we could not make it a series eventually. So the gist is, the title of the episode is Easier Said Than Done. Basically, I think it goes without saying, we wanted to start a series on things that are easier said than done, but we couldn't find a lot of subtopic under that problem. So we decided to make just one heading and titled it Easier Said Than Done. And we talked a lot about ourselves, our story, you know, how people think some certain things are easy when they are not in position to actually carry it out, probably as a leader or as individual in our personal life, and then expectations, the way we see things, and then when we get into it, it's a different view entirely, and then it becomes and then it's almost as if you are making mouths in some sort, in quote and unquote, yeah, making mouth about what you said you were going to do. You understand? So as young folks, exactly, as young folks, we grow up and we find out that these things are not that easy. So we discussed lengthily on Easier Said and Done, and it was great. You can have a listen again. Episode 7, the Ola and Oyin podcast season 1. So moving on, guys, we discussed in episode 8 very mental, special, kind of different topic, where we talked about
that episode. Gosh, to my heart. I feel like it's one of the most emotional episode we had on season 1. And very briefly before I talk about that episode, which by the way is the title is Downplaying Others' Experiences. But let's quickly talk about Easier Said and Done. Guys, I just want you to take a moment, give content creators a round of applause. My dears, I used to think it was easy.
It's not.
Like when you see content and you're seeing the way they are doing it, you're like, what's all these things? We can do more than that. My dear, when you get into it, you know that easy. Before you record, before you break it down, before you edit, hey, my dear, it's a lot of work. So it's all part of the process. That's why a lot of things you think you can do, but you cannot. And so moving on to downplaying others' experiences, it's also the same thing. Sometimes you downplay experiences consciously and unconsciously because you think you know how someone should experience things, or maybe you're projecting your experience, your past experience on others. But the truth is, we all feel things differently. And in that episode, we discussed lengthily on how people downplay others' experiences, how we all downplay other people's experiences, because sometimes we do it without intending to, but the person whose experience is being downplayed is the only one that perceives it that way, even though that was not our intention. So sometimes you need to get feedback when you're interacting with one another. A little bit of empathy here and there is needed in any kind of conversation. So guys, before I go very deeply into it, because it's not downplaying other people episode experience, and what did I just say? Other people episode experience? No, downplaying others experience episode. Yes, that's the right way. So that's not what we're discussing today. So it's just a subtle reminder of things that we have discussed. So guys, go back to season 1, episode 8, and listen. So the second episode of our health series followed this, and that was
prioritizing it. Did I say that right? Prioritizing it. On your scale of preference.
It's the English for me.
Yeah, priority.
I think we need to invite like an English teacher or tutor or just somebody to come and take us some few classes in one of these,
I think the message over the language kind of, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, but we're not that bad.
That's deep. Word, message over language. Oshé. This my guy is also good anyhow.
Let me just talk about
No, I'm proud of you.
So episode 9 was cool. Like you said, we continued the 8th series, second episode from the 8th series. Personally, I like the topic, prioritizing it, because it speaks to me. Something as little as sleep, sometimes we don't prioritize them. It's a busy world, fast paced, we are all moving up and down, multitasking, but at the center of it all, health is there. I mean, you're only going to make more money, do more stuffs, whatever you are into, when you are healthy. So everybody need to prioritize it. So have a listen, guys. Prioritizing it, we talked about a whole lot of things, how you can break the steps down and not, monitor your health literally, and not let things accumulate in your body. Yeah. So we talked a lot about health generally, overview of prioritizing it. You enjoy it. So episode 9, season 1, go back, have a listen. We'll love it. So moving on now, another series followed, and that was the book series again in the season 1, and that was the book by Mark
That was the
Manson.
final episode.
Yeah, that was final episode actually. Book by
That was
Mark
the final
Manson.
episode of season 1.
Subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Fuck. Yeah. Censor that. The subtle art of not giving up. Yes, see guys. This is one of the book that when they say don't judge the book by the cover, this is what we mean. It's not to say that there was no so much mention of who. The author kept repeating. Sorry, is it author or author? Guys,
Message
it's not my first
over
language.
please.
Over language. Alright, so there was a lot of mention of fuck in the book, by the way, but
That's
what
one.
it literally means or what it meant, the author's meaning to the whole title was that we give so much care, like we care a lot about different things. We care about numerous things and it's affecting us mentally most times. So when you pick up this book, it's not to say that it's going to teach you how not to care at all, because he even mentioned in the book that the author mentioned in the book that if you don't care at all, you're a psychopath. So who wants to be a psychopath though? So it's not to say you don't care at all, but you selectively care, if that makes sense. So you have to selectively care about things. So don't say, people that said you have to care about your friendship matters, they are the ones saying that you don't have to fuck. No, you just have to select things that you give a fuck about. And see, I don't want to talk too much. Reading is believing. Go and read the book.
Really? Did you
Listen to
coin
an
that?
episode on the book. And what did you say?
Did you coin that?
It's a
Did you
real-
just coin that? Reading is believing.
Well, I just discovered
used to
that
think
seeing
it
is
was
believing will
seeing.
not work because they have to read it, not just see.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright, so guys, that was that about season 1 very briefly, even though I don't think it was as brief, but we did justice. So myself and Ola are going to pick our 3 favorite episodes from last season, and you guys can join in the comment section by also dropping your 3 favorite episodes from last season. So Ola, what was
Yeah.
your 3 favorite episodes in no particular order?
In no
if you don't
particular,
mind. Or
okay.
if you want to tell us the order, we don't mind.
I like season 1. We had a lot of good topics, and I can't wait for season 2. But my top 3, that would be The Alchemist, episode 6. Yeah, in no particular order. Then again, Prioritizing Health, episode 9. Health is wealth. I like health. Then last one, Motivation Overdose. Man, a lot of things to take in before you start. You don't even know. You're even confused whether to
Yeah,
start or
great
not.
choice,
So,
great choices.
3 of the best. Episode 6, episode 9, episode 2. Listen up, guys.
Okay. As for me, simple. The book discussions were 2 of my favorites. Then
You mean
downplaying others' experiences, because what's life without emotion though? So that's
so you mean
my
Alchemist,
top
then
3.
Subtle
The
Art of Not Giving a
Alchemist,
Fuck.
Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck,
And
and downloading others. Downloading. What's downloading? I'm just saying rubbish today. I did not drink, guys. I had nothing. So that's that about that. So now to the main juice. Why we're here, why we're back, why we're chatting with you guys. Season 2 is here, and just a quick snippet. Is it snippet they call it? Or snippets? Or, just a quick taste. Like want to tease you guys a bit on what we have for this season.
yeah.
Ola will do justice to that.
Justice, I don't know, because you have to wait, guys, to hear all the episode. Like, subscribe, I don't even know, put on the notification bell, because when it drops, you don't want to miss it. So this season 2, we're gonna be talking, like you already know, we care so much about Earth, so the Earth series continues. Book series continues. And then a lot of other juicy topics. I know we have a lot. There's a lot to talk about as young people growing, things we see around the culture, you know, the processes of growth. Oyin, I'm sure you want to give them like little bit of the specific.
And let's just give them small of those things so that they know that something is coming and they're not ready. So first things first, to get ready for this season, like to be prepared for this season, revisit, listen to our previous season on the Ola and Oyin podcast. Because what is season 2 without season 1? So you need to listen to season 1 and then get ready for season 2. That's how to be prepared. Okay, so some of the things we're going to be discussing in season 2, as you all know, we are big on growth and learning. We are all growing and we're learning new things. We learn every day. So we're going to be discussing relationship in the workplace, in your workplace. Basically, we don't mean romantic relationship here. Maybe a little of that too, but majorly hierarchy and culture. There is this thing on hierarchy and culture, and we just want to our experiences and how we've been coping with it. We'll be discussing that in this episode. Then we're going to be having some vulnerable moments, guys. You see, this life, sometimes we package, but this time around, we want to be vulnerable, we want to open it up. I think people should see us. We're bearing it all to you guys. So there will be a discussion on our personal insecurities and all of those. And then we'll be introducing games. And then we'll also have a topic on information overdose. I mean, too much overdose. Okay.
Don't let it all out.
Information overdose in season 2. So guys, please, you're not ready. And to be ready, I said you need data and you need to subscribe. To season 1. And that's how I know you're ready. Exactly, guys. What is being ready without being subscribed? Do I need to remind you guys? I trust you. I trust my people. They don't need to be reminded. Right. So that's what we have for you guys. So with this, we have come to the end of this episode. And don't forget, you can listen to our episode, our podcast on every platform. Should I say every or almost every? Guys, every platform you listen to podcasts on.
Popular
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor FM, Breaker, Pocket Cast. See, on any platform, we are there. We're even on YouTube. So, guys, listen. Don't forget to subscribe on all platforms. Drop your comments. And guys, before we upload the next episode, not like before, but if you want to show that you are ready for that episode, comment yes in the comment section, and we'll know you're ready. If I can get 50 yeses, I know we are ready. Alright guys, thank you for staying with us. We'll catch you guys next week on another episode of the Ola and Oyin podcast. I remain your girl, Oyin and Ola.
And I'm Olamide. I'll see you next week.
Bye.